Good afternoon, students. As I told you yesterday, I'm going to discuss today gram-negative motile vibrioids as well as non-motile or renally motile gram-negative curved shaped bacteria. Okay, these are different bacteria. Okay, so now starting with the gram-negative motile vibrioids, what are the general properties of the gram-negative motile vibrioids? Staining, as you all know, these are gram-negative. Okay, but them, but one of them, which is a azoospermillum, it may be gram variable. Okay, may be gram variable. What do you mean by the word gram variable when we talk about gram negative and gram positive bacteria? Sandeep bhai, Sandeep bhai, ऐसे कर दो. When we talk about gram negative and gram positive bacteria, the word gram variable means the word gram variable means sometimes it may show gram positive, sometimes it may show gram negative. Okay, so staining the azoospermillum sometimes can be tricky. Okay, morphology, as we are studying vibrioids, they may be helical or vibrioid in shape. Okay, having less than one complete helical turns to various turns. Okay, they are polar. Okay, they have a polar flagella and can swim with a corkscrew like motion also. Okay, so gram negative bacteria, as the name itself, one of the example. Okay, azoospermillum is a gram variable, but another other bacteria are basically gram negative. Okay, there are always exceptions in any of the classification groups. There are always exceptions. Okay, and specialized structures which these gram negative motile vibrioids have is basically they form polybeta hydroxybutyrate granules. Okay, and many possesses a polar membrane attached to the inside of the cytoplasmic membrane by bar-like links, and this generally occurs underlying the region of the flagellar insertion. Okay, and the why polybeta hydroxybutyrate? Because it is an often commercial interest also in various countries. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, so many of the organisms can be converted into thin-walled coccoid bodies as similar to that of we studied in our last lecture, that is of spirochetes. And the azoospermillum produces enlarged encapsulated forms that may superficially resemble cyst. Okay, you must know what are cysts. You must have studied in your semester 1. Now oxygen, okay, some are aerobic or some are microaerophilic and have a respiratory type of metabolism with the oxygen as a normal electron acceptor. Oxygen as a normal electron acceptor, as most of them are aerobes, but some are also, okay, growth under anaerobic condition is absent or very poor. Okay, and can only occur when specialized electron acceptors such as nitrate or fumarate is used. Okay, as we discussed during our Burgess manual, I told you that beside oxygen, various other compounds, even organic compounds, can be used as an electron acceptor. So in this case, the specialty is they are able to use nitrate or fumarate for the purpose of their respiration. Okay, and few species can acidify sugar media under anaerobic conditions but grow very poorly and prefer aerobic conditions. Okay, as they prefer aerobic mode of respiration. Okay, and these are chemoorganotrophs. However, there are some species, as I told you, various groups may have different types of exceptions. There are always exceptions. So in this case also, some species are of exceptions which can grow autotrophically. Okay, in a mixture containing hydrogen gas, carbon dioxide, as well as a oxygen. Okay, so they can grow autotrophically. Now, what are the common products? Okay, what are the common products or the common reactions involved? Okay, and the common products, okay, which are basically, one of them is oxidase positive enzyme. Okay, as they grow in aerobic conditions, most members of these groups are incapable of catabolizing carbohydrates, but some can oxidize a limited variety of carbohydrates. Okay, so there are variety of carbohydrates, but they can use only limited ones. And under conditions of microaerobic conditions, they can also fix nitrogen. Okay, they can also fix nitrogen directly from the environment. And where are they found? Where are they found? They are found in the soil, freshwater or marine environments, or within the plant roots, or in the reproductive organs, intestinal tract and oral cavity of man and animals. So you can see its habitat. There are a variety of habitats, okay, which in which they are found. Yes, they are chemoheterotrophic. Okay, they are chemoheterotrophic, and some of them are predatory on other microbes also. Okay, on other microbes, they are not predatory on algae or protozoa, but different other bacteria. Okay, on predatory on different other bacteria. Okay, and some of the examples which I have included here, okay, these are Alteromonas, Aquaspirillum, Azospirillum, Dellovibrio. Okay, B is silent here. Okay, B is silent. It is pronounced as Dellovibrio. Okay, next one, Campylobacter, Salvibrio mixtus, Hellovibrio variabilis, Heliobacter, Herbaspirillum, Serpopediaceae, Marinomonas, Micavibrio, Admirandus, Ozonospirillum, Spirillum, Sporospirillum, Vampirovibrio, Corella Varus, and last one is a Vollinella. Last one is a Vollinella. Now moving forward with the one of the examples, I have covered few examples in more details. Okay, most of the characters will be similar to the group characters. Okay, we need to study only a specific character with each of the isolates or each of the examples. And Alteromonas, one of them is, okay, they stain gram negative. Okay, morphology, they may be straight or curved. Okay, with a size of 0.7 to 1.5 micrometer in diameter and 1.8 to 3 micrometer in length. Okay, this is say basically dimensions of the Alteromonas. And motility occurs by means of single polar flagella. Okay, single polar flagella, or more specifically flagellum. Okay, they in their specialized structures, whereas others may accumulate poly beta hydroxy butyrate. Okay, but these Alteromonas do not accumulate poly beta hydroxy butyrate in their intercellular reserved product, nor microcysts are formed or endospores are formed. Okay, as we have already studied, this group is of chemoorganotrophs. Okay, and their respiratory mechanism is by using oxygen. Said they do not use fermentative mode of metabolism. Okay, and molecular oxygen is the universal electron acceptor. And their optimum range of the temperature is around 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, is around 20 degrees Celsius. And requirements, what do they need? They require seawater base for their growth, and many strains require various other organic factors also. Okay, and various strains require various organic factors also. And as by the temperature, you can clearly see they are in the mesophilic range of the temperature. Okay, and they do not denitrify. Okay, they do not denitrify. What do you mean by denitrify? Okay, the process in which denitrify occurs is basically called as denitrification. Is called as denitrification. Okay, denitrification involves conversion of nitrates into the molecular nitrogen gas. Okay, and which is basically harmful, for the agriculture. Okay, but as far as we consider it as a whole nitrogen system, it is a main part. This reaction denitrification is a main part of a nitrogen cycle. Okay, and none of the strains has a constitutive arginine dehydrolase system. Okay, these are the characters how this Alteromonas can be differentiated from the other bacteria of this group. Okay, where are the Alteromonas found? They are found in the coastal waters and open oceans. They are found in the coastal waters and open oceans. This gives us an idea why do they require seawater. Okay, why do they require seawater? Reason is simple. Okay, they are found in coastal and the open sea waters. Okay, and the open sea waters. Now moving forward, and the morphology. Okay, morphology of aquaspirillum now. Okay, morphology of the aquaspirillum. Okay, they are rigid, generally helical, and has a diameter of about 0.2 to 1.4 micrometer in diameter. However, one of the species is also vibrioid and some are also straight rods. Okay, and some species form thin walled coccoid bodies which predominate in the older cultures. So it's a single genus, but you can see a variety of different shapes, such as vibrioid, okay, to which this bacteria belongs to, straight rods also, and some are also thin walled coccoid bodies in their old structures, old cultures. So for any of the bacteria, they may have some different mechanisms, okay, through which they survive through a variety of environments. Okay, so in this, when we discuss about the age of a any individual, such as let's take an example of our human beings. Okay, we are not the same in our whole lifespan. Okay, starting when our birth occurs, we are very small in size, small weight. Okay, as we grow, our organs start to also grow. We reach at a age of puberty. Okay, and now as we age more toward the older ages, our hair turns white. Okay, so these are some distinct features, visual features, which may change according to the age of the any of the bacteria. Okay, there are minor changes. Okay, we cannot say yes, this one is a pure, but we need to confirm by doing experiments. Okay, normally when we say the bacteria is a rod shape or a bacilli shape or a coccobacilli shape, okay, we note it in a particular system so as we can identify the bacteria again. Okay, in order to study the variations, okay, we can study the variations according to the different lifespan also. Okay, but we need to find the germination time of the bacteria. Okay, now moving forward with the motility. Okay, they have bipolar tubs flagella, and one species have monotrichous, and some may have a single flagellum at each pole. and some may have a single flagellum at each pole. Okay, and the specialized structures, okay, a polar membrane underlies the cytoplasmic membrane at the cell poles in all species, and so far examined for these characteristics by electron microscopy. Okay, so the polar membrane here, okay, is being was being studied using electron microscopy, in which you can clearly view the intracellular polybeta hydroxybutyrate, okay, which can be studied. Okay, now this bacterium has a oxygen requirement varying from aerobic to the microaerophilic requirement. Okay, aerobic to the microaerophilic requirement. Okay, and having a respiratory type of metabolism with oxygen as terminal electron acceptor, and some species can grow anaerobically, okay, with the use of nitrate as a their electron acceptor, by the use of nitrate as their electron acceptor. And the temperature requirements basically is around 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. Okay, temperature requirement is of 30 to 32 degree Celsius. Okay, and they are now about the metabolism. They are chemoorganotroph. They are chemoorganotroph, but there is one species, okay, which is a facultative hydrogen autotroph. What do you mean by facultative hydrogen autotrophs? Sometimes it can undergo chemoorganotrophy also. Okay, sometimes it can undergo hydrogen autotrophy also. Why the word hydrogen? Okay, because it may use hydrogen as their source. Okay, as we discussed few slides ago, it may need hydrogen, it may need carbon dioxide as well as oxygen. Okay, this is a type of hydrogen autotrophy. So carbohydrates are not usually catabolized, but a few species can attack a very limited variety of carbohydrates. Okay, and amino acids or salts of organic acid serve as carbon sources. Serve as a carbon sources, and vitamins are generally not required by these organisms. Okay, now what does the aquasphylum produce? It produces oxidase, phosphatase. Okay, these are the main enzymes through which we can identify. But why do we need to study other enzymes which we know already negative? Okay, it helps us to distinguish between various other bacteria. The reason is simple. Okay, reason is simple. We need to study each and every character because we want to differentiate this bacteria among the other ones. Okay, and aquaspherium is catalase negative, indole negative, sulfatase negative. Casein, starch and hypurate are not hydrolyzed. Casein hydrolysis as well as starch and hypurate hydrolysis, okay, we can study in our lab also. Okay, and moving forward, this species can denitrify. Okay, this species can denitrify. Okay, and nitrogenous activity in some species also, but only under the conditions of microaerobic, but only under conditions of the microaerobic. Okay, so when there is low concentration of oxygen, okay, it can fix nitrogen with the help of the enzyme nitrogenase, with the help of the enzyme nitrogenase. Okay, and habitat, they are found in stagnant or freshwater environments. They are found in stagnant or freshwater environments. Okay, now moving forward, This is an gram stain of not a gram stain but a regular simple stain of the bacteria Aquaspirillum, okay, and this is an electron micrograph of the bacteria Aquaspirillum, okay, giving you a 20 seconds for view, where you can clearly see the flagella at the ends, polar ends. Okay, next bacterium, which is an Ozonospirillum, again gram negative, as we are studying gram negative groups. Okay, morphology, they are rigid and helical cells with a diameter of 0.3 to 1.4 micrometer, and most species from thin walled cocoid bodies which predominate in the old cultures. Okay, and the species Ozonospirillum craigie and Ozonospirillum janussi are basically straight rods, and motility by bipolar tufts of the flagella or by a single flagellum at each pole. Okay, now for example, this one is a bacterial cell. Okay, there may be just a single flagellum. Now specialized structures, intracellular beta hydroxy butyrate granules are present, and a polar membrane underlines the cytoplasmic membrane at the cell poles in all species so far examined by the electron microscopy. Now tropism, they are chemo, organotroph, and oxygen, they are aerobic and have a optimum temperature which a range of 25 to 32 degrees Celsius, and have a optimum temperature of 25 to 32 degrees Celsius, requires amino acids or salts of organic acids serve as a carbon sources, and sea water is required for the growth. Why? Because they are present in the sea, as well as decaying seaweed and from putrid infusions of marine mussels in the marine mussels. Okay, and it produces oxidase. Okay, and very few enzymes are produced. Okay, now this one is a diagram of an electron micrograph of the Ozonospirillum, and these are mussels, okay, which are found in the sea, and these are mussels which are found in sea or oceans. Now moving forward with the next interesting bacteria. Okay, and this bacteria is given a name of a predator. Okay, bacterial predator, but its mechanism is somewhat different. Okay, the cells of this bacteria Dello-vibrio, are comma-shaped rods, okay, and have a diameter of about 0.2 to 0.5 micrometer in diameter and 1.4 micrometer in length, and they are highly motile swimmers, okay, by means of a single polar flagellum. They are obligatory aerobic. Okay, in the absence of oxygen they will not be able to grow, and generally their optimum temperature is around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, but can grow up to a temperature around 50 or 40. Okay, but the growth activity will be very low. Okay, growth activity will be very low. And habitats of Dello vibrios include soil, sewage, freshwater, and marine environments. Okay. Now lifestyle. Okay, as I told you, this is a very interesting bacteria. Okay, this is a very interesting bacteria. Okay, all wild type strains upon initial isolation are dependent on interperiplasmic growth in the susceptible spray, and their dependence is still not known. Okay, and their dependence is not known. Okay, so till now whatever the Dello vibrios have been isolated, there is one thing in common: they are dependent in intraperiplastmic growth in the prey. Okay, and the growth of the isolates in the absence of prey has been achieved in some cases with a media supplemented with the high concentration of bacterial cell extracts. So in order to grow Dello vibrios, we need to add bacterial cell extracts into the media, and only predaceous Dello vibrios means predaceous means who can hunt, okay, who can hunt down other bacteria have been obtained on initial isolation from the nature, but there are some mutant ones, okay, which are capable of axenic growth. That is basically the growth in the absence of prey cells, okay, or prey independent strains, have been derived from the predaceous strains. Okay, and some strains are facultative, that is capable of growth in the presence or absence of the prey cells, Now pathogenicity, they are not pathogen to human beings, okay, but are pathogen to the gram negative bacteria, which are other gram negative, not the same one. Okay, and exhibit biphasic life cycle. Okay, biphasic life cycle. Okay, which is basically in a alternating manner. Okay, one is the non-predatory phase, non-growing predatory phase, and an intracellular reproductive phase, which is found in the host which Dello vibrio enters. The highly motile Dello vibrio, okay, appears to be located its prey by means of a chance collision, and it forcibly strikes and attaches to the generally a much larger prey cell and then rapidly penetrates into the prey's periplasmic space. Okay, now this one is a life cycle of a Dello vibrio. Okay, first process starts with the attachment, and after 5 to 20 minutes Dello vibrio enters. You can see that the bacteria enters the periplasmic space. Okay, and after 40 to 60 minutes the Dello vibrio starts to elongate. To elongate means to grow longer. Okay, and next one, after 2.5 to 4 hours, okay, the cells finally burst. Okay, this cell finally bursts. Okay, this is how Dello vibrio life cycle occurs, and this is an electron micrograph of an Dello vibrio. Okay, this is an electron micrograph of an Dello vibrio where you can clearly see the single flagella, Now again, this one again, it's an electron micrograph of an Dello vibrio. Now let's have some information regarding one of the videos. Okay, Okay, this is a sample from the sludge under micro aerophilic conditions. Okay, again, this video is by Bernard Jenny. Second video. Now you can see various other bacteria also which are moving. Okay. Now overall review of the group in a single. Okay. Spirillum, they are adapted to a low concentration of the organic matter. Azospirillum associated with the plant roots, and some are nitrogen fixers which are important to the agriculture. Campylobacter, okay, is one of the example of a food poisoning bacteria, and Delavibrio is an example of a predator bacteria. Now moving to the next group, which includes non-motile or rarely motile gram-negative curved bacteria. Okay, of which the first example is Ankylobacter aquaticus. Next one is Brachyarchus theophilus. Next one is Cyclobacterium marinum. Next one is Flactobacillus. Next one is Meniscus glaucopis. Next one is Runella slithformis. Next one is Spirosoma linguo. And this is a very small group. Okay, this is a very small group of the bacteria, so very less amount of study is being done in this group. Okay, and the maximum study was done on this single bacterium, which is an Cyclobacterium marinum. Okay, as this group belongs to gram negative. Okay, and the cells are of 0.3 to 0.7 microns in diameters and form rings or horseshoe. You all know what you mean by horseshoe shape. Okay, and less frequently coil or helices and straight rods, and some are encapsulated also, and gas vacuoles are not present. As the group itself says, they are not motile. Okay, in most of the cases bacteria which do not possess which do not have motility are generally not flagellated in most of the cases, but not in the all cases. Now in the solid surface, colonies are convex, mucoid, opaque, smooth, small, and are pink in color. Okay, these are just the colony characters you must have studied in your semester 2. Okay, now tropism, they are chemo organotrophs, and oxygen requirement is here aerobic and have a optimum growth of about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is the least study group, so very less information is available on this bacterium also. Okay, and they are found in marine environments, as the name itself says, Cyclobacterium marinum. marinum. Okay, and the requirements: growth on the modified Zobel marine agar medium or Tripton glucose yeast extract agar medium containing 3% of the NaCl. Okay, why NaCl is to be added? Because they are found in a marine environment, and many of the marine environment may have a high concentration of the NaCl. Okay, acid produced from most of the carbohydrates but not from the ribose, sorbose or sugar alcohols. Malonate and tartrate also, but not glycophosphate can be used as a sole carbon source. Okay, now when we discuss about the enzymes, oxidase and catalase positive, lipase is negative, and the urease is negative. So by as we are going through various aerobic bacteria, you may have seen one thing in common, that the pure obligate aerobic bacteria generally have oxidase positive. So keep in mind this term, oxidase positive, and some have even catalase positive in common. Okay, in case of aerobic bacteria. Okay, so I'm going to end my lecture now. Okay, everyone, please comment present sir for your attendance and join